Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with a bins haul, and I gotta say, this is a weird one. So this day at the bins was just one of those crazy, like, strange days. Like, it felt like good finds were very, like, few and far between, and this was not just limited to me and the kind of stuff that I look for. It sounded like pretty much everybody there was, like, hitting walls in terms of what they were finding. The bins pros weren't finding anything good. You know, resellers like me weren't finding anything good. The people that do like housewares weren't finding much good stuff. That is not to say that I didn't find some really cool pieces. Like, they were just few and far between. I did end up picking up some like interesting bolos that I'd never found before, some interesting vintage pieces that I can't wait to talk to you about. So there were some gems in there, but we really were digging to find these. I think I've got 32 or 33 pieces here. So again, I squeezed out a little bit of juice from this day, but it was just one of those days that I probably should have left an hour or two before I did. But before we get into all that, if this is your first time here, if this is your first time stumbling on my channel, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia. That is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and the business of reselling on the internet. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, lots of interesting stuff to talk about. So go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. So we're gonna start this off quickly with two things that I got from my mom. I accidentally had something shipped to my mom's house on the East Coast, and I printed out a label for her, and she had found two more things while she was out in the bin. She put those in the package with it, and I think that they're worth talking about. The first one, which is the one that I'm most excited about, is this absolutely gorgeous dress from a brand called Petticoat Lane. Have you ever heard of this? Okay, first of all, this is linen. Look at that pin tuck work right there. This is so beautifully made. It's midi length. It's this really soft beige color with this watercolor looking print on it. All the buttons are like little star clear buttons. This is the label. So my mom found it and obviously picked it up because it's linen and it's beautifully made. Turns out that this is sold at a boutique, I wanna say up in like Greenwich, Connecticut, and their dresses go for like $599. No joke. It's so expensive. And the interesting thing is, like, if I had seen this, like, I would have picked it up because it's linen as well, but like, I wouldn't have thought anything of this label. The label doesn't look super fancy or anything like that. I will probably get somewhere, like, there's some like sold comps in the $80 to $120 range, but I like, the workmanship on this is unbelievable. What a find. Thanks, Mom. She also found this super cute little cotton shift dress. This doesn't have a tag at all. It's 100% cotton, 100% cotton lined. It's got this pretty, like, open work lace inset here. It's not sheer at all, so you can like wear a bra under it, which is nice. Little just shift kind of mini length dress. I'll probably get like $20 for something like this, and something that I'll use like all the white dress keywords because of the bridal season, but also swim cover up, resort wear, stuff like that. Because this is something that this feels like something you would wear on vacation. Really, really cute. So now on to my haul. And are you ready for some just like weird stuff that I'm so interested to hear, like, what of this stuff you guys find in your bins. Cause there's a lot of brands that I found that I had never seen before, but here we go. Okay, so this was one of the first things that I found, and it's a pair of sweatpants. And it's got strawberry like patches down the legs. Now, the reason I picked this up is because this is like a nice pair of sweatpants. It feels really nice. It's French terry. They're 100% cotton. And this stitching is like done nicely. Like, you know, it looks really distressed because it's all raw edge, but like that's the way it's supposed to look. And this is the label on it. So I'm like, okay, I don't have much to take home today. I'm just gonna take this home and see what it is. So this comes from a brand called Strawberry Park. And Strawberry Park, if I'm understanding this correctly, because I just did like a quick search for it, and I had to do like a Google search for that logo. This is a weird one. So Strawberry Park, I guess, is three guys who do a YouTube channel, and this is some of their merch. But their merch runs, like their sweatpants run for like $115, maybe a little bit more. And there are similar sweatpants on sold comps that have sold for like $80. So I'm going to assume that these are probably very limited edition. Whoever these guys are probably have a pretty like devout subscriber base to be able to have a serious merch presence. But let me know if you are familiar with Strawberry Park, if you have heard of them, if you have seen their stuff, if you are familiar with that label. This is like, the label was a little house, no words on it, and then on the back it's a strawberry. So a little bit of my gut serving me well. I'll be sure to like report back when these do sell. You know, hopefully it'll be in one of my like long form ship with me videos or over on my socials. These are my names. I also have the channels linked down below. And word has it that YouTube is about to start letting us do shorts up to 3 minutes. So when that does happen, I will also be posting that short form content here as well. So excited for that to happen because I know a lot of people like my little snippets. Anyway, I'll make sure to include this in one of those when they do sell and let you guys know how it goes. Next up, okay, guys, when I tell you this is a weird day, it was a weird day. So I found this, and if you're not familiar with Roots is like a big store up in Canada. They make really great stuff, great like basics, sweatshirts, sweatpants. They're pretty expensive, I want to say, and if there's anybody in Canada, like I want you to chime in on this because you're gonna know about this a little bit more than I will. I want to say that their sweatpants and stuff go for like 60 or 80 bucks. I don't know if that's Canadian or US dollars, but anyway, like really high quality stuff. Roots is like a hardcore like legacy brand in Canada. Like any Canadian will know what Roots is. And there's a couple stores around here, and I want to say it was like 1992. They made these for Olympians to wear in like the opening ceremonies, and they were navy blue. I think it was 92. Again, Canadians, please chime in, but they've been making these ever since, and they're collectible. So I don't know if this is one that was made for like consumer purchase or if this was an athlete's hat. I know I've seen ones from Salt Lake, the Canadian ones from Salt Lake, and they're embroidered on the top. So let me know. These resell, it looks like between 20 and 30 bucks, but I just thought it was just such a random thing to find in Los Angeles in the bins, right? But anyway, always an interesting story to tell. Roots is definitely a brand I always keep my eyes out for. I've only found like 1 or 2 pieces. It's not super big here. When I lived in Utah, we actually used to have a Roots store right on the main street in town. And I have a sweatshirt that I bought from them, I guess about 10 years ago. And it is like, it has gotten to the point where it is now like my cleaning sweatshirt and it's like hanging on by a thread. But yeah, if there's any Canadians out there watching, let me know what you know about this hat, because I'm pretty sure that this is like a beloved tradition in Canada around Olympics time. So, okay, next up. Now, like I said, it was kind of a like not great day, but I found a lot of these pieces that I otherwise generally wouldn't pick up. This is a Madewell shirt. It's kind of like almost like an ottoman rib. It's boxy, it's short sleeves. It's got this button back. And I think that this is something that's gonna do well at buy sell trades. So while I was hunting, knowing it was kind of a slower day at the bins, I picked up a couple things that I bought like specifically to go to a buy sell trade store. I've never done it here in California. I did it in Utah. I had an uptown cheapskate that I used to go to, and back on the East Coast there was of course Plato's Closet nearby. I never got much for anything there. I think like Plato's Closet, I think the most I ever got was like $2 or $3 per item. But I'm told that they're pretty good out here and better if you're trading it in for store credit. So what better day than today to pick up a few pieces like earmarked for buy sell trade. But let me know. I mean, this I think retailed for like 50 bucks. So I'll be interested to see how that does. I'll kind of denote the pieces. There's a 3 or 4 I think in this. I'll kind of denote the pieces that I picked up specifically to go to the buy sell trade stores. So again, I'll keep you posted. I'll try to report back. I will probably go in the next day or so. So hopefully I'll have an answer for you by then. Otherwise, it's really cute. It's a nice mushroom color. I like this fabric. If I were to sell it on Poshmark, I'd probably get 15 bucks for it. Next up, now this is a label I want you to keep your eyes out for. I don't find it often, but this is Yumi Kim. And Yumi Kim is a women's designer, pretty high end. This is probably the least significant of the pieces that you'll find. This is just a little robe, cute little blue floral print. It is an extra small, but these resell for like 30 bucks. I want to say that they retail like $70 or so. So definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. It looks like the person here had a little bit of a spray tan, but I know how to get that out. As a pale girl, I'm well versed in spray tan removal. The more you know. Next up, okay, this is a weird one. This is where, I swear to God, this is where it goes off the rails. So I saw this and it was like so well made. I I knew that there's somebody out there that wants it. So this is, I'm gonna guess probably 90s. This is like a moire jacket. These are like legit gemstone buttons here. I don't know if you're getting the sparkle there. But this is a little blazer. This is handmade. And I'm pretty positive that this is silk moire. Like this feels so luxe. Fully lined. Look at these sleeves. Okay, so they're double layer. Look at the pleating on it. Double layer, split in the back, with another one of those little gemstone accents there. Like this is definitely something that was custom made for somebody. And I'll list this with like church clothes, mother of the bride thing, or church clothes or something like that. But it is, I mean, it is just magnificently made. No tags, no size, just beautiful. And like, I love a silk moire. So let me know, like, is this something that you would have picked up? Again, it was a very slow day at the bins. So by the way, this comes out, right? That just kind of tucks across. So it's a little V-neck, and then this goes up and over. It's like really beautiful. This is something that should not be going into the waist stream. Like moire that feels like this is usually silk. It might be a little bit wool, but like either way, this is an expensive fabric. It's a lot of it, and it was like expertly manipulated. So this is something pretty special. And let me know, like, is this something that you would have picked up on a slow day at the bins? Is this something you would have picked up at a good day at the bins? Let me know. I have no clue what I'll get for this. I'm sure whoever had this made paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars for this. I'll put it that way. Like I could also see that going to like a costume shop here in LA, you know, to be used in film. Because like where else do you find stuff like that other than like having it made? And again, I'm pretty sure that was very, very, very expensive to have made. It's a weird day, guys, I'm telling you. Next up, this is a little Zara piece, just a little paper bag waist, knit, button front, mini skirt. This is the kind of thing, like I picked this up because of the colors. I'll probably get like $20 on this, but the browns and the navies and the maroons and all those colors right now, I think a very like 70s palette. That is what is trending right now in fashion. So keep your eyes out for it. Make sure you're tagging it correctly. Make sure you're using like those color keywords of the brown, maroon, burgundy, aubergine, so on and so forth. Like use all those words that you can. This to me looks like upholstery though, right? It's cute though. Oh, this is another one that I grabbed for the buy-sell trade. And to be totally honest, I might actually list it because when I looked it up, there are sold comps for this specific skirt for like $40. So go figure. This is from Urban Outfitters, which I almost never pick up. And it's like a crinkle satin maxi skirt. See that texture there? It's in great shape. It looks like it's never been worn. It was probably worn like once. But I think that this is something like Urban Outfitters is probably something that's pretty good for buy-sell trade stores. In fact, let me know, like, I feel like this is something that is really gate-kept by buy-sell trade stores in terms of like what they're looking for and what seasons. Like if you regularly go, or if you have recently gone to a buy-sell trade store, what did they take of yours? What did they take and what did they reject? Let's see if we can like crowdsource this for everybody else, because I know that there's a lot of people who maybe like they go to the bins and they don't necessarily have like really high-end brands, so their whole play is getting stuff for buy-sell trade. But what did your buy-sell trade store take from what you recently brought in? I'm gonna put this in with that other shirt and take it in. I will also maybe consider keeping this and selling it online. Oh, next up, this is something I love tiny pieces. This is Tiny from Anthropologie. I don't think Tiny is still being made. And this is in like impeccable condition. So it's white, it's embroidered like sheer over super duper soft jersey. It's a size small. It's got these cute like puff sleeves, but they have a little bit of a split in them. So these go to about elbow length. This is something I'll probably get like $20 to $25 on. But these little tiny shirts, I'm telling you, they sell really well for me. I think that like they had their heyday, I want to say in like the 2010s. And I think that there are just real devotees of the brand and their kind of aesthetic. I really like finding they're like, they feel like a wisp of nothing, but they're little like rayon shirts. They fit close to the body. They're covered in like heavy embroidery. Those for whatever reason sell so quick for me. I'm never gonna get like $40 for them. They'll sell for like 20, 25 bucks. But again, if you're sourcing it for $1, $2, like that's still a decent profit. So keep your eyes out for it. I don't know, like let me know, is that your experience with Tiny, or is that just me? I don't know. Next up, so this is BCBG by Max Azaria. Still don't know if I'm saying that last name right, but it's size 10. And I almost never pick up this brand, but this I thought was really lovely. So it's blue and it's got like a halter neckline, right? So this ties in the back, but not really, like, so it's, you see how that is? It's got that little strap that goes down. This is something that I can see being worn on like vacation. It is 100% silk. Silk outer, silk lining in this pretty blue pattern. It's got a belt that can cinch it in around the waist. Handkerchief hem. It's in great condition. Obviously needs like a really, really, really good steam because it was definitely like balled up. But this is the kind of thing I think I can leverage enough like Y2K type keywords to get this moved because it does very much have that feel. I 100%, when I think back to like my college days, I could see one of my friends wearing something like this. But it is really nice and it's 100% silk, so I'm gonna take my chances with it. I have no idea what I'll get for this. 30? Somewhere between 25 and 40, somewhere in that range. Next up, all right, this is the first of the kind of cool vintage pieces. These things always sell really well for me. This is a little vintage 1980s sweater vest in this pretty Kelly green with blue and white. The brand on this is Russ Petites, and it's a size medium. It is a wool blend. It's 70 acrylic, 30 wool. And it is blank on the back. Something like this I'll get like 25 bucks for, and no doubt pretty quickly. Like every time I list one of these 80s sweater vests, they are in and out of my closet so quick, at least right now. It's just something that is, they're having a moment in vintage style, and while that's happening, I'm gonna capitalize on it, but I also just think that they're really fun, and I love this color. So I will grab these anytime I see them as long as I'm getting them at the right price. Again, not something that's gonna get you $40 for it, but it will get you 20, 25 bucks probably pretty quick. And always, always, always something, if you are cross-listing, make sure that stuff like this does go on to Depop, because that's more than likely where you will end up selling it. Okay, next up, this is another one from my friend. So this is a pair of jeans from Mott and Bow, and I'm interested to hear your experience with them. So Mott and Bow, as far as I know, I feel like they were like custom cut jeans. Am I wrong on this? Was it that you could like kind of custom order your length and your waist size? Like, am I remembering this wrong? Either way, they're really nice. These are definitely men's jeans. At first, I think when we were in the bins, we thought that they were women's jeans. These feel like brand new. This looks like raw denim. They're a size 29-30, so this is kind of an unusual size, which isn't necessarily the worst thing in men's jeans. I find that unusual sizes do tend to move pretty quick for me. So they retail, I want to say like $120, and on the resale market, like the women's ones were reselling for like in the 20s, but the men's were between like 30 and 50, I guess, depending on the cut, depending on the size. So I'm not quite sure. Let me know. Do you have experience with Mott & Bow? Is this a brand that you like actively look for? Is it a brand that you pick up? Is it a brand that you no longer pick up? I've never had it. Like I said, they feel really nice and they feel like brand spanking new. So we'll give it a try. Again, it was a slow day at the bins, so we'll give them a try. I'm interested to see how they do. Let me know. Next up, this is a pair of Lululemon leggings, and I'm probably just gonna put this into my pile of things that I take into the store for credit. These are, I believe, Wonder Unders, just going by the cut of them. They're this like unusual ribbed texture, and they have like different kind of compression. So like you can see like over the knee, this is a thinner material than this is. This has a little bit more compression. So just because it's an unusual cut, and it looks like these are, they're not quite cropped. They're those 7/8. Honestly, the Lululemon leggings have been really, really slow for me. Aligns are still selling decently as long as they're in good condition. But for the most part, this is just, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna take this back to the store. Let me know, are you still picking up Lululemon leggings? Like, I'll like for 150%, I'm still gonna pick up any sweatshirts, sweaters, jackets. They still do really well for me. Of course, the sweatpants, regular pants, men's pants, especially those ABC pants, guys really love. But the leggings, I'm not really picking up anymore for resale. It's super saturated. For the most part, if I'm picking it up, it's something that I'm gonna take back to the store for, you know, trading credit. Next up, this is another one from my friend. She gave it to me. This is from Moulinet Source. This is a brocade blue, black, and white fabric. It's got this pretty like wood beading on it. It is a size 2. I believe that is lined in silk. It's beautifully made. These were sold at Anthropologie. They were pretty expensive at Anthropologie. This is something that, oh, I like that it's got like little pockets. Oh, they're functional, and they're big pockets. Hold on. True test. In a dress? What? That's wild. That's wild. So something like this, I'll probably get. It is size 2, so it'll take a little bit longer to sell. It's funny, I find I've been selling smaller sizes on eBay a little bit better than Poshmark. Poshmark's been slow, I think, across the board for everybody. Like, sound off if you are having the same experience. Make sure you are cross-listing, guys. I know it's a little bit more of a time investment. I know it's probably a little bit of a money investment, but it is worth it. Like, we need to make sure that we are getting our eggs out of one basket. But just a beautiful little dress. Again, I'll probably see like $30 to $40 on this. It'll probably go springtime. I love the color. I love the wood beads. I love the silhouette. It feels a little bit 60s to me. That pocket, I can't believe it. And it's in beautiful condition. Next up is another vintage little sweater vest. This one is hand knit for sure. It's square neck. It's this like funky, is this puce? I think that this is actually puce. This is what the internet is telling me puce is, so. I don't know. Again, I'll get like $25 on this. I have no doubt that it'll sell really quickly. Again, I love finding these like hand knit treasures because somebody puts their heart and soul into making something like this. Let me know if any of you knit out there, how long would it take to make a piece like this? It is flat on the back. This is just like for my own curiosity. And then the front has these kind of like ribbed knit lines. I don't know what that's called. Let me know also what that's called if you knit. So let me know. I just like to understand how much work goes into these things. I'm gonna save them regardless, but let me know. Okay, next up. Now, again, this is like an interesting thing that I picked up because it is so wildly well made. This is a little linen blazer. Gray, it's got like a cuff sleeve. It's got like a band collar in the back and then the front kind of nips in with a notch. So the label on this is in Japanese. And when I tried to do like a Google Translate on it, it said like, it kept flipping back between like Inari lady and beautiful lady. I don't know if Inari means beautiful, but it's so well made and it's linen that I grabbed it. Yeah, that's the label. Is there anybody out there that can read Japanese? Let me know what that says. The tag also handwritten on the back, so I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, it's something that I will label with like log and look. It's got all of the things. Like, there's plenty about this that I can keyword, that I can get this sold without knowing the brand. But if anybody can read Japanese, let me know what that says. But like, it's just really beautiful. Probably about a size small, no, probably about a size medium, and in great shape. Obviously needs a good steam, really cool button closure. Like, look at that button. I don't know, this is just a gut pickup. For all I know, this is like a custom made piece or something that's like a really nice brand in Japan. I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to Google. So let me know. Let me know if you know anything, but tell me again, is this something that you would have picked up on a good day or a bad day while you're out thrifting? I can't resist high quality linen. I simply cannot. Next up, this is from Massimo Dutti. This is a men's shirt. So it's 100% cotton. This is flannel. It's in great shape, needs a wash and a steam and all that. But this is, it says Italian fabric made in Turkey. It's a size medium, great condition. It looks like similar sold comps are like $30 to $40 on this. Massimo Dutti is, if memory serves me right, either owned by Zara, if Zara is the parent corporation, or owned by the same company that owns Zara. And I guess they're a little bit higher end in the same way that like COS and H&M are owned by the same company, and COS is like an upmarket, more minimalist version of H&M. So definitely a label I keep my eyes out for. I do not see it that much here, but their stuff is really nice, well made. They usually have some great textiles, stuff like that. So cool little find. I don't find a ton of men's stuff that I like, so that's always a fun thing to grab. Next up, this is a Free People piece. I think this is the only Free People piece I found, but I think this was a good one. I love finding the beaded pieces from them. So this is like a cream gauze. It's got like cuffed sleeves here. It's a faux wrap bodice. It actually has a little bit of tack right here, so it'll like, it's not gonna show off the goods. But look at the beading on this. It's this beautiful like blue tonal beading. So it's got these kind of almost like epaulette looking things on the shoulders. It's along the neckline, down the front, also down the side here, lots of embroidery. It is a size medium, which I love to find. This will go fast. Just knowing the fact that it's like the faux wrap, the oversized, how it kind of drapes down on the side, size medium, very like this has everything about it that I think will go fast for Free People. And I have no doubt that I'll probably see like $30 to $40 on this. These beaded pieces from Free People are so expensive. They're usually like $150 to $200. So always exciting to find it. And I love these colors. Like I just love all the different shades of blue. I think it's really like chic. So that was an exciting find. Oh, next up, who's around my age and who wishes they had these jeans in particular in the year 2004? Me. These were like $200. They were the it girl jeans. Look at that. Do you remember the ones that had that line that looked like a seam that had faded? This was like the jean. This was the jean everybody wanted. And the funny thing is, like right now, this is what a lot of girls are looking for. So this is 7 for All Mankind, of course. That is the rear pocket stitching you are looking for. These are a size 25, made in the US. I think the newer stuff might be made in China. Let me know. Confirm that for me. Yeah, 7 for All Mankind by Jerome Dehaan. Boot cut. And they're great condition. There's a little bit of wear, like back where the heels would kind of drag a little bit on the ground, but that is like literally unavoidable at any point in older jeans. These, if memory serves me right, are quite long. I can't remember if it was this style or the style that had like the A pockets that were like, I remember trying on it, and I am leggy, like I am all leg. And I remember trying on a pair, not that I could afford it, but I remember trying on a pair and it was like out past my feet. It was so long. Although maybe these were professionally hemmed. They don't look like they were hemmed, but I could be wrong. Either way, these are great. I will probably see like somewhere between $40 and $60 for these. The girlies today are looking for this kind of stuff. Low rise, true vintage, in great shape. I will pick these up anytime I see them. I know that people are after these kind of jeans. And my God, imagine if 20-year-old Julia knew that I was gonna find these at some point in my life for $1. Oh. Next up, okay. Guys, we need to talk. So I found this. This is from Woolrich. Beautiful, like I think this is wool blend, little vest. It's got kind of like a little curved, like an edged and curved bottom hem here, zip front, stand collar. This is the label you're looking for, women's size extra large. Something like this will go somewhere between like 30 and 50 bucks. Okay, but we need to talk about Woolrich. So I grew up just outside of Philadelphia. Woolrich is Central PA, Woolrich Woolen Mills. It was like a staple of the winter time. Everybody knew the brand. You know, they are like a legacy company, right? Like they make stuff that is made to last for lifetimes, right? Like they make heirloom quality stuff. Really, really good stuff. It wasn't cheap. It was never inexpensive, but it was never like crazy expensive. So I grabbed this. I first did some comping on Poshmark and eBay, and then I went to the website to like, I always try to find like the original price of something. And usually like if this isn't made anymore, I can find something very, very similar and make an assumption of what it would have been, whatever it was 7 years ago. Y'all, I go on to the Woolrich website. I want you all to go to the Woolrich website and look at the prices. Like the jackets on Woolrich right now are selling for like $900. What? Like their vests, I think the cheapest vest that they have, the cheapest women's vest that they have, it is a puffy and it's like $500. Like to the point where I was like, is this the same Woolrich? Cause like it says Woolrich and it says like Paris, Tokyo, Milan, whatever it is, like but it's still, I'm like, is this the same Woolrich? Is there another company out there named Woolrich? And I go down to the bottom and I look at like the contact us and it's still in Woolrich, PA. Like what happened? What is going on with Woolrich? If somebody knows, let me know. I spent an inordinate amount of time like making sure that the Woolrich website that I was looking at is the same Woolrich that I was holding in my hands. And you know, again, still like these are going 30 to 50 bucks. But have they like, what happened? What happened? I mean, get your bag. I mean, Woolrich makes gorgeous stuff. They could easily have been charging far above what they were charging for their products because again, they're like one of those legacy companies that builds like heirloom quality stuff, but like, let me know. Has anybody bought something from Woolrich recently? Is it that much better? I was agog. I mean, again, get your bag, but holy moly. That being said, I guess keep your eyes out for Woolrich because now it is very, very, very upmarket, like Canada Goose Montclair level pricing upmarket. So new bolo alert. All right, here we go. Oh, this is okay. Perfect example of what a weird day it was. So I'm digging through and I see this. So who doesn't get excited when you see it? And then I saw the other side. So this is a Pao Gucci polo shirt that is clearly made to be worn with that, like I can see the guys in Italy wearing this with the collar popped and their dark hair sticking out, you know. So this is, I mean, like I wish you could feel this cotton. This is beautiful, beautiful cotton jersey. I'm gonna guess that this is Pima. Oh yeah, that's totally faded. So this is, I wanna say this is probably from the 80s. And this is the label you're looking for. So Pao Gucci was Maurizio's brother, if memory serves me right. I think he passed away right before Maurizio. You should all go and watch that movie if you have any interest in fashion at all. It's a fascinating story. So Pao Gucci, I guess, split off and did his own thing, obviously operating at the same level of quality that he would with like the regular Gucci line. Like this is finished beautifully. The textiles are really nice, obviously intarsia knit in the collar. It's got like branded back neck here, like all the details are there. And they are collectible, right? Like people seek out Pao Gucci stuff because it's rarer than regular vintage Gucci. Sold comps anywhere between like $50 and $100. I don't see anything this shirt, but I see other like similar polo shirts that are going, again, between that like $50 and $100, and the more substantial pieces going for like $250. Now, if this was regular Gucci, it would probably be twice as valuable, if not 3 times, 4 times more valuable, but it does have a collector base, and this is so just like signature Italian design. I don't know how else to describe that, but such a fun thing to like find in the bins in Los Angeles. And again, in like great shape. Again, this is probably 80s and it's like in beautiful condition. Have you ever found anything from Pao Gucci? Let me know what you got. Did you sell it? Did you keep it? How much did you get for it? Dying to hear. This is the first time I've ever found it. I knew it was out there. I had just seen somebody else posting something that they found like a week or 2 prior, and then bam, when I was in the bins. But this is like a perfect example of how the day was. Like this was in a bin full of like window treatments. So go figure. There is always treasure there. There's always treasure there. It just might be a little bit harder to find. All right, we're moving right along here. All right, next up, this is another one that my friend tossed over to me. This is from Sundance. She knows I love Sundance. Like I absolutely love Sundance stuff. And I think I have repeat buyers that come back and buy all my Sundance stuff because usually it is in and out of my closet pretty quickly. But this is 100% silk, little floral blouse with kind of puff sleeves and velvet trim. This feels very springy to me, so this might not go until spring. Size medium. Something like this I'll probably get like $30 to $35 on. I think it's one of their older pieces, but I also don't think that matters. People just love Sundance. Just one of those brands that I pick up anytime I see it. I'm comfortable paying up for that in like the regular thrift store. It's just really interesting, well-made, unique stuff. Like nobody else makes stuff that looks like Sundance. With the exception of like Johnny Was. But like we all know that Johnny Was is more expensive. Next up, now this is a new bolo that I've never found before. So I got my hands on them and I'm like, oh, this is really like nice corduroy. This is kind of what they call like pinwheel corduroy or fine whale corduroy, right? So it's really, really thin whales. And I love this color block style. So this is from Clare V. And guys, keep your eyes out for that label. Let me know if you've ever found anything from them. They make like beautiful purses. I think it's based here in LA. Pretty sure it's based in LA, but this, I wanna say retailed like $115. And on the resale market, these are going for these little nothing shorts are going for like between $40 and $80. So definitely a bolo. I've never found any of the clothing pieces. I've never found anything from them. So I was excited to find it and definitely excited to bring this to you. Keep your eyes out because this is such a little like nothing tag that it might be easy if you are somebody who goes by tags. It might be pretty easy for you to skip this over, but if you see that tag, don't you dare. These are size small and in pretty great condition. They might not go until summer just because they are so summery, but very, very cute. A very retro vibe to that. Next up, okay, this is an exciting find. This is probably one of the most exciting finds of the day. So this is from SmartWool. SmartWool is one of those brands I love to find. This is the label you're looking for. Sometimes you'll see this little guy here on like a little like tag on the outside, like so, right? So keep your eyes out for that. This is 100% merino wool. They're very expensive. SmartWool is like known for their use of merino wool, and this is something that, like, despite the fact that this looks like a t-shirt, this will provide warmth like a heavy fleece. Like, this lightweight merino is so warm, and when you're talking like warmth per ounce, you're not gonna find much better than SmartWool. Resale comps on this are around $80. So keep your eyes out for SmartWool. I will say though, when and if you do find a piece of SmartWool, inspect it really closely. I think a lot of people forget that stuff like this is wool, and they don't treat it like wool, as in like they don't keep it with cedar. You know, they are susceptible to moth damage like a sweater would be, and a lot of people don't keep them like with their sweaters. So just look extra closely when and if you do find it, but this is in like perfect condition. So again, treasure on a bad day. A couple pairs of bottoms here. Another pair of vintage jeans, again in like perfect condition. These are J brand jeans, which I don't think are around anymore, but it was like J brand, Joe's Jeans, and Seven for All Mankind were like the jeans in the early 2000s. Again, these are low rise, flare leg. I think these are called like the Dreamer jeans or like the Dream Weaver or something like this. I'll put it down below. I have it in my spreadsheet. And the funny thing is, when you look at the hem here, so I thought initially, I'm like, oh, this looks like this was hemmed, right? Like taken to a tailor and hemmed. But when I looked closely, like this looks like machine precision, right? Like this looks like original hemming. And lo and behold, when I go to find these on like the secondhand market, and they're going for like between 40 and 60 bucks. Again, true Y2K vintage low-rise jeans in size 29. When I went to find them, I found this exact model, and they all have that really wide bottom hemline. A lot of them have like, it looks a little bit more worn, but it's because there's like artificial like whiskering and stuff on the jeans. These don't have any of that. Like these, which I think will make it a little bit more desirable, right? Like I think the kind of artificial whiskering and stuff, it is really hard to find jeans that don't have that artificial whiskering, but this was a great find. Again, a couple really good pair of like vintage jeans. These are both in like barely worn condition. I wouldn't, well, no, they're very different. I was gonna say, I wouldn't be surprised if they were from the same closet, but they're very different sizes, so maybe not. Next up here in the unusual pant department, another like weird pair of jeans. These are from Rag & Bone for Intermix. These are like coated silver, like gunmetal silver pants. They say capri, but this is not capri line. These are just really unusual. I wish you could like feel this. It almost feels like plastic, but you know, anytime you have Intermix in play, they're a size 26. I'm gonna pick them up. Again, I got them for $1. Worst case scenario, I can redonate these. But something like this probably retailed like $300 plus. They're really unusual. Oh, there's a little zip ankle too. Very rock and roll. So I'm gonna have to cleverly keyword these to get these in the right eyes. They are just so unusual. But it has the, you know, unusual and well made is like, if I see that, I'm gonna pick it up. And it's not like I don't know the brands. Like these are both Rag & Bone and Intermix are things that people seek out. So maybe they're just weird enough that somebody will grab them. I'm gonna guess maybe $30 on these. I don't know. Let me know, have you ever seen anything like this? I'll finish the last pair of pants I have. These are Young, Fabulous, and Broke. I almost left these behind, but I like this style. So they're brown, they're trouser style in the front. They are cropped wide leg. They are that like gorgeous tencel. Size medium, they're obviously horrifically wrinkled. So I'll give these a bath and a nice steam before I photograph them. I'll probably see like $30 on these. I just really like this kind of like wide leg, kind of crop leg, especially in this like drapey fabric. And it does have the pleat front, which I believe is what people are looking for, an elastic waist to keep it nice and comfy. So again, I'll probably see like $30, $35 on these, maybe more towards springtime because of that crop. I mean, like I wear crops all year round, but also I'm in California. My ankles are rarely covered, but Very, very cute. And Young Fabulous and Broke is sold at Revolve. It's a pretty expensive brand, and their stuff is made really well. Like, I've never found a piece from Young Fabulous and Broke where I was like questioning the quality of construction. Like, their stuff is really nice. So if you're in the market for some clothes for yourself, take a look at them. You can get a great deal. These probably retailed like $180, and I'll probably get about 30 for them, if that gives you an idea of pricing there. All right, I think this is the last piece that I picked up like intentionally for the buy sell trade store. This is again Madewell, although again, something like this, I'm seeing like sold comps in like the $25, $30 range on this. This is Madewell, super, super soft, and it's like a light green blue. I think it's showing up pretty gray on the camera. It's got little lettuce edge trim there on the wrists, on the bottom, on the turtleneck. It's in great condition. It's a size medium. So I don't know, like, maybe I list this and get 20, 25 bucks. I don't know what the buy sell trade stores get for it, but maybe I'll list it and give it a week or two. Because sometimes Madewell stuff like flies out of my closet. And I do think that this is very like right now. This is only, I think, a year old, so cute little top though, right? Next up, this is an Eileen Fisher, and I've actually sold the dress version of this twice. And they were both petite, so maybe this was just a petite size. So this is a size small petite. It's in a nice like tencel drapey jersey. This is a beautiful like reddish orange. It's got that pocket. The pieces that I have sold, you know, you can tell they have that one singular pocket down there like on the hem. I'll probably get like 25 to 32 on this. It might take a little bit longer to sell because of the sizing, but also the dresses that I've sold, the identical dresses that I've sold to this have also been petite. So maybe it'll go a little bit quicker. Maybe this is a petite style that they have that people really seek out. I've never seen this in anything other than black. So there's that. And I'll tell you, the orange pieces that I've had have been flying out of my closet. I guess orange is also having a moment. So very cute. You know I love Eileen Fisher. We've got like 4 more to go here, guys. This was one that I picked up because it felt really nice. So this is from Orna Farho. I've never heard of this designer, and that tag was really nice. And again, it felt really nice. This is all mesh, and then the body is like double layer mesh. That's giving it that kind of green sheen, right? So it's got a layer of this green underneath and then the black, and then the ruffles down the front, little V-neck. There's no size on this. I'm assuming that this is like a one size piece because it does stretch like considerably. But the thing about this that made me, like the way that this mesh feels isn't smooth like a nylon mesh. Like it felt like there was a little bit more grit to it. And turns out this is like a wool blend mesh. So tell me if you know about this designer. I had never heard of her before, but it was really nice. It felt really gorgeous. And this, I think, might also be Y2K vintage. This looks Y2K vintage. I love the sleeves. I think it's beautifully finished. This feels like a high-end piece, like to the hand. Like the hand feel of this feels luxe, despite the style looking kind of funky. So I have no idea what I'll get on this. Like sold comps for this designer are all over the place. I've seen sold comps at $10. I've seen sold comps at $100. So maybe 30, 40? It's beautiful stuff though. I wish you could feel this. Yeah, made in France. So it's viscose and wool. So interesting, right? Like I'm telling you, this was such a weird day. Like this is the kind of stuff, this Pao Gucci, what? 3 pieces to go here, guys. This is a little Zara piece that I just thought was as cute as could be. This is a little knit sweater tank. Look at those straps. Isn't that darling? It's just so cute. Again, maybe not something that'll sell until springtime, just given what it is. Size medium. It's got like, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see it's got like little cups kind of sewn into it. There's no wires or anything. It's just a little bit of gathering around the bust. But just a little details. I'll probably see like between 20 and 30 bucks for this. This kind of stuff, believe it or not, from Zara does sell pretty well for me. It feels also very on trend right now. So again, wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't go until spring, just because it literally couldn't be more spring, but it'll go without a doubt. 2 to go here. This is a vintage piece, 100% silk. This is from Paul Stanley. Definitely a vintage tag there. This is a size 18 silk boxy short sleeve blouse in like impeccable condition. Again, I want to say this is probably 80s. I think Paul Stanley, most of the stuff that I saw from Paul Stanley, it was a lot of like career wear. So this was probably something that was worn to work, maybe under a blazer. It was probably dry cleaned. It was probably really well cared for. Like I said, perfect condition. These vintage tops that I find sell really, really well. You can use a lot of different keywords with it, but when you find the larger sizes, they're so, so, so rare in vintage pieces that they generally fly out of my closet, especially when I'm dealing with something that's like a high-end fabric, like a silk. I think that this would sell out of my closet really quickly, even if it was a size small, but the fact that it's a size 18 is a pretty special find. I was excited to find this. I would have been excited to find this even on a good day at the bins. This is a good find. I'll probably see like somewhere between 30 and 40 on this. Vintage silk does so well for me. And finally, last piece here. This is from Alice and Olivia, which is a brand always to be on the lookout for. This is like a silver and white jacquard. Can you see that? I feel like it's blowing out the camera. Can you see the detail on that? So it's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. It's a classic like natural waist, little puff skirt. The lining here has like horsehair to give a little body to the skirt, which is nice. Alice and Olivia is just so expensive. This was probably a roughly $400 dress. And there is a name for it. I'll put it down here. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I keep want to call it like the Victoria dress. It's not though. I think it's a few years old, but sold comps for this, like recent sold comps for this, went in like the $80 range. So Alice and Olivia is one of those brands that like, I will pick up any piece that I find. Like I have found pieces that I thought would sit around forever, like size 00 gold shorts, and they sold for like $50 in 2 days. So I will definitely pick up Alice and Olivia, even if it looks a little out of date. Even if, like, I want to say this is probably 2010s, but it's the brand. It's white. It's silver. It does have an open back. I think this is a size 8. The size tag is out. I'll have to get some measurements on it, but I'm pretty sure that this is, like, eyeballing this. This looks like a size 8, and it's in great condition. No stains, no picking, no nothing. Again, like I said, sold comps. The last couple versions of this dress that sold went for like $80. So I will take it. But that is it, guys. That is the haul for this week. This felt so short, given like the last couple weeks of hauls that I had, 50, 40, whatever. Like I said, I think I had about 32 pieces, but some really interesting stuff. Like it was a rough day. Like there wasn't a lot to be found. There was stuff to be found. It was just few and far between. And the stuff that I found was like pretty unusual. Pao Gucci and like perfect condition Y2K vintage jean. Like it was just a weird day all around, but like I still think I found some really good stuff. But anyway, I think I've got about $1,000 worth of sales here, and considering I spent $33, that is not too shabby. But let me know, like, what do you guys do on rough days at the bins? Do you leave? Do you stick it through? Do you see what treasures you can find? Do you also tend to find like random never found before bolos on those weird days? I don't know. Either way, thank you guys so much for hanging with me while I go through these bins. There were definitely a few pieces here that like while I was going through the bins and I found them, I'm like, I cannot wait to talk about this. This is where my head is now while I'm digging through those bins. But thank you guys so much for hanging with me. I always have so much fun doing these hauls. I really appreciate you taking a little bit of your time to hang with me. But guys, if you had fun, please consider leaving a like or a comment on this video. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, have the most beautiful week. Happy hunting, and I will see you in the next one.